Okay, so let's look at the code now.
Sure. So I'm just going to go and open up the code window.
Yep. All right.
And it's quite large, and it might look a little bit scary, but it's not. So there's a bunch of different sections in this code that I'll go over through very quickly. The first section is this section right here. What this does, it actually takes a single video and breaks it up into multiple smaller pieces, and that's what I use to take a video and multiplex it across all of the various displays that we have in the Pepsi machine. This section up here is very important. It's one of the brains of the system. This part right here connects to a camera that we call the attention meter. And this camera is able to recognize people's faces, and this is how we understand when there is one person or two people or three people in front of the machine. And then, of course, we use that to trigger various interactions that you saw in the previous video. This section right here loads images or videos, and we use that to load images or videos across all the screens. So, for example, when somebody is putting in money and you see all the videos of the different sodas, that's what that section does. This section over here loads the news feeds that you saw during the initial segment where nobody was standing in front of the machine. This segment right here that spans across both of these monitors, it looks kind of scary with all these lines and stuff, but really it's relatively simple, and what it does is this is the section that actually switches modes. We have multiple modes on this machine. There's vending mode, there's gaming mode, there's news mode, there's people approaching mode, one-person mode, etc., etc., etc. And this section right here actually does all that switching. That's pretty much the main things that I can touch on. If you look down here, you'll see very similar code. This is actually running on another computer that controls this side of the machine, and it's on its side because we've mounted these video displays on their side so that they match the aspect ratio of the buttons. The final bit of code that I will show you is on this computer over here, and this is very important code, because what we've got here is the actual connection that we make to the internal components of the Pepsi machine. So this section right here actually understands when we're pushing one of these buttons, and then I can put that into my application and do various things on that. Also, this part of the code here energizes some relays that we've installed in the machine, and these relays are switches that allow us to switch between having the vending machine pay attention to its own buttons so that you can actually vend product, and then switch the relays to the other direction, and then the buttons are actually connected to our computer so that we can do all these crazy things with them. Lastly, we have a segment right here that's actually a microphone controller, and this is actually an interesting hack. And what we do with the microphone is we have a microphone attached to the cash receiver and also to the sale bin. And what happens when somebody puts money into the machine, it makes a noise. And then so we use that noise to say, okay, somebody's put money in the machine, switch to vend mode, make sure these buttons are available to the internal computer. And as soon as product is dispensed, it makes a noise in this drop box, and that again is used to switch the context back of the buttons to the interactive machine that we are using to program all these things with. So that's how we essentially automatically do our switches between vending machine and interactive entertainment machine.